Hello, this is Amy T. Wigand, and I am here with the Women Drone Responders interview series. Today we have Melissa Gammon-Lackey with the Winston-Salem Police Department. Melissa has been in the UAS program since 2023, and even though that's a short amount of time, she's accomplished quite a lot. Welcome, Melissa. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm excited to talk to you and share this with our community. Tell us how you got started in drones.
Yeah, so about a few years ago, I came to Winston-Salem, been a police officer 26 years. I've been at the Winston-Salem Police Department for about 3.5 years. And being this close, to the retirement, I wanted to find something fun to do. And I was talking to a colleague, and he said, hey, you should come try the drones. So we weren't really that big into drones at the department yet. And so I decided to give it a try. They have trainings all over this area. And so I attended one of the trainings. It was about a week long and got to fly some of the drones. Fell in love immediately, ordered a drone, had it sent to my house. And for the next year, I just started flying the drone and learning the different technologies that come with it and what it can and can't do. 'Cause my biggest fear was, oh no, I get sick, motion sickness. And I wanted to try it first on my own to make sure that I would not get sick. And being older, I was never a gamer growing up, so I never really knew how to work the controller switch. It was super easy. Like I said, I fell in love with it really quick. And the next year, another class came up because I didn't get my license at that time. And I said, what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the class. I went to the class and I decided that, I wanted to join the team. So I got my 107 license and I've been on the team for about 2 years.
Wonderful. Well, what was your first drone?
My first drone was the Mini 2. And
Okay.
so I have 2 now. I bought the Mini 2 first.
Okay.
And it was a tiny little thing and I had so much fun playing around with it. And then just recently I bought the Avata 2.
Good. So you weren't a gamer before this. You hadn't been in drones. There was no exposure to this. You just said, I'm interested, I'm willing, and jumped into it and fell in love.
Yeah, so I wear many hats. And so I have been an instructor for many years, teach firearms, de-escalation, and other things. And it's something that I wanted to find something fun to do, something that I could enjoy the last few years of my career. And being drones are typically new in this area and in law enforcement, I wanted to jump on board and really see, what it would do, what it can do. And it has just opened up a whole new world of law enforcement for me. I enjoy doing it. I'm part of many different teams with the drone program here at the department.
Good. So tell us a little bit more about that. Tell us what your current role is, how this evolution happened, not only for you, but for the department, and who's involved and how you operate.
So our department in 2018, Ron Robertson, who is now retired, brought in the idea of drones to the department. He retired and came back. So he's one of our part-time pilots, and he kind of fed the idea of, hey, we could really use this in the drone community. And of course, Captain Knight and Assistant Chief Gomez and Lieutenant Beal, Sergeant Croak, they're all the ones responsible for the program now, and they have just really pushed it forward.
Good. So tell me more about your day-to-day and your current role.
So like I said, I wear a lot of hats. And so right now I'm on patrol. And so I come in the morning. We have 7 patrol drones. So we have different units for our air support unit. So when I come in for patrol, I'm a tactical pilot. So I have a drone with me at all times. If something happens, I can get there quickly. I can put the drone up in the air and fly that. I also work about 15 to 20 hours a week extra in our flight room because we have, like I said, we have different areas. So we also have our Drone for First Responders program, which started last summer. And with that program, initially we had drones on top of different roof locations throughout the city. And now we have actual drone boxes that have the drones built into them. So we don't have to man those positions on the rooftop and in the flight room. And so about 15, 20 hours a week, I'll go to the flight room and I'll man, actually fly from the flight room one of the drones from on top of the building. On top of that, they've just recently started a program for our SWAT team. And so what they're doing is they're looking at what officers are interested in joining this program. They really don't know what direction it's going to go just yet, but still it's a benefit to the agency to say, hey, we have these officers that are willing to join the SWAT team as drone operators so they can do what they need to do. And then we'll have drone operators show up and take over the drone operations as needed. And so those are the three different things right now that I'm a part of. I also am one of the core pilots. So whenever we have pilots that come in and they want to get checked off in the flight room, checked off meaning trained, or they want to get checked off as a tactical pilot, then they would come meet with me and I would get them checked off to make sure they have all the qualifications and meet all the requirements to be a pilot in that area.
Wonderful. How many do you have currently on your team?
So we have 30 total pilots, and that includes tactical, the drill for first responders, and that's officers and civilians. So we have 2 full-time pilots that are in the flight room through the week. We have 2 part-time pilots that are here. One is, of course, Ron, because he's our retiree. And so they kind of fill that role. So say, for example, so the guys that are in the flight room, there's always going to be 2 guys in there Monday through Friday. If I'm on patrol and I put a drone up, I'm on a scene, a critical scene, I put the drone up, I can say, hey, guys, can you take over my drone? And they can take over from the flight room while I'm out there handling a scene. Not only do I have eyes in the sky watching over me and helping, but I also have these 2 guys that could also link it into our real-time crime center. So you want to talk about a broadband of information going out right there, because now I have real-time crime center watching over me. I've got the other drone pilot watching over me. The real-time crime center can get information from all different databases they have access to. So it's it's a huge asset to have.
Sure. So if you were to advise a smaller program building out, as you obviously with 30 pilots have a larger program, what would you recommend someone to do from the get-go to set themselves up in their program?
Get pilots that get the buy-in from come visit our agency. We do have that. We offer where people come visit us. Get pilots that want to do it for the right reasons. They want to come in, they want to fly, they want to help a program succeed. Get your buy-in from your command staff and from city council. And in doing that, when you have another agency that has success stories such as like us, then you can take that information back to your agency, say, hey, they just started this program last June and look at how far we've come, because we've got 3 docks on top of buildings. We're trying to get 3 more next year. We've got 7 patrol-led drones for tactical situations. Anytime something happens, we can get drones up in the air fairly quickly. And, we've got statistics to show that it's beneficial to have.
Right. Okay. And so on your team, who handles the funding to build the programs? Is that you or is that somebody else?
Oh, no, that's Assistant Chief Manny Gomez.
Okay, very good. So if anybody has questions about that, we'll send them to Manny. Good deal. Okay, well, I know our listeners really enjoy and are curious to hear about case studies, incidents and situations that are real to you. And so feel free to share with us today your experiences and how they've been a part of your program.
Well, if I could first show our statistics on our, it's going to be the slide that shows, let me find it real quick. So that's just me when I first started flying. Here, let me go to the other ones. Okay, so this is right here. This one here kind of gives you an idea. And this is, like I said, we started July 1st, 2024 until today. So this is statistics to show where the drone was first on scene, 743 times that it responded, and only 434 times was it not first on scene. Our average response time, you can see how quick our response time is there. The total flights that we've had are 1,237. And so this just kind of, the top one is our drone for first responders. That's going to be the ones on top of the buildings. The other ones are the tactical operations. So that's how many times we've put up. We've put our tactical drones up multiple times, and we've had so many benefits from that. And let's see, just to give you an example of the benefits of, I'll go over the tactical first.
Okay.
We had a situation where a murder suspect had ran from our some units in an area. We had 4 drones on scene. So, the airspace, that's very, it can get very congested in that area. So we had 4 drones up in the air. We immediately communicated our elevation. Here's where we're at. Here's where I am. Here's where you're at. With the technology we have now through our Skydio program, we can actually pull it up and through Fusus and see exactly where the other drones are also. So that's a benefit. So if I'm flying in my patrol car, I can have my computer have that signed into that. So not only am I flying looking for somebody, I also have access to see where the other pilots are at. And that's a safety feature. So we had 4 drones up in the air, different areas. We had thermal imaging, which we have on our drones. And we were able to locate this murder suspect in kudzu. And so then to be able to guide people into it. And I know there have been other success stories where they're like, we don't see him. Where are you at? Lower the drone. We can lower the drone, hover it right there about where they're at. They see the drone at night. We can flash the lights so they can see exactly where the drone's at. It's basically a pointer that points directly to where these people are at. And it's a benefit to the agency. It's a benefit to the officers on scene. It's a huge safety factor because if you see somebody that could be holding a gun, you can let them know, hey, he might have a gun. She might have a gun. Be cautious. And so just having that, on the tactical side of it is beneficial. Being first on scene to a missing kid, a few weeks ago, I was this is kind of going back to, I'm going to take this back to the DFR room. I was flying from the flight room and a school called and said, hey, one of our 8-year-old autistic kids ran out of the building. We don't know where he's at. And so I was able to get one of our rooftop drones over there very quickly. I found the kid and was able to guide officers directly to where he was at. And so he was right near a busy roadway too. So that's, again, another success story. To some people, it may just be, oh yeah, it's a simple thing. It's huge for us. It's a huge asset than us riding up and down the block. Sometimes you may only have 1 or 2 officers available. Now you have air support that can come in, flip on the thermal imaging, circle around very quickly and be able to find people very quickly and get the kid back to safety. So that's just another success story we've had. We've had multiple situations to where actually it was in the flight room last week or week before last, and one of our undercover units said, I need you to take over the drone. And so I took over. And that's when they were able to make a traffic, the other units were able to make a traffic stop and capture the person they were looking for in that situation. But the fact that I had the capability to take over that drone for him so he can do what he needed to do at the scene was huge. It relieved him from that. So all this technology that we have advanced to is only going to get better.
That's very true. Well, talk to me about that a little bit, especially for those that aren't in our community, that aren't in public safety, or aren't in the drone space that are watching this today. Talk to them about what would happen if you hadn't had the drones in those specific incidents.
We would not have had eyes in the sky. There's no other way to say it. That young man, so where he was running to, there is a huge train yard. There's also huge fields, power lines, and old abandoned buildings. And I'm talking huge warehouse buildings. And if you go on the other side of that, it's a high crime area. And so there's no telling where he could have got hit by a car. He could have wandered off into those buildings. And I mean, it's a very large area. K9 would have had to have been called in. And again, it just delays finding the kid in the long run. And we were able to find him it was within minutes. We were able to find him at the roadway. He was only 3 blocks from the school when I found him.
Wow. And
same thing for, whether it be the murder suspect, we had K9s on the ground
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that, drones have the availability to see from the sky, to give you that perspective, and to get answers quickly, to get you to the people you're looking for quickly, to help you find missing kids, murder suspects, whatever the situation may be. Even fires with colder weather, the heat
Yeah.
signature. We could put the drone up, put it on thermal imaging, and be able to find a heat signature really quickly and guide the fire department to where they need to go.
Yeah, that interoperability with the fire department is crucial, and I've seen a lot of use cases that have just been miracles, really,
Yeah.
with this technology. So that's good stuff. Drones for good, right? Well,
Oh, yes.
switching gears a little bit, unless you want to continue on with incidents, you mentioned to me in our conversation prior to this that you are the first female UAS pilot on the SWAT team. And I think that's great. Congratulations. We want to talk to women specifically and youth. We need to build our workforce. So workforce development is part of this program. Tell us, about being a woman in the field and what your experiences are, and explain the opportunities that are in, police work with drones for women specifically.
The only qualification you're required to have is your P107. And it's one of those things, like I said before, I was not a gamer growing up. I get motion sickness, so I thought there's no way that this is going to work for me. But we have several female pilots that are involved in this program now. And we have male pilots as well. But it's one of those things that it doesn't require a certain amount of strength. It doesn't require to meet certain qualifications, with the exception of getting your pilot's license and learning how to fly. Being that the drone program is so new to our country, it's one of those things that now's the time. Now's the time to get involved with drones. Now's the time to just say, hey, you know what? When I graduate high school, when I start college, or you know what, I'm going to try it. Right. Just don't go buy one of those little rinky-dink drones on Amazon or whatever. Actually go somewhere or buy in. They're not cheap, but you get the experience. And once you get up in the air and you fly around, there's nothing else like it. It's a lot of fun, and there's so many opportunities. Like I said, I just started doing this, and I fly all the time. I love it. I have 2 drones now, and just being able to come into work and check out a drone, and you don't want a call to come out that is critical that requires a drone, but you want a call to come out that requires a drone. And so to be able to get the drone in the air and look for a stolen car, or, we can put our drones up in the air for training too. And so I'll go out to certain areas and put it up, and it's almost considering, all the stuff we see on a daily basis, all the bad stuff we see, to think that, hey, we can put this drone up in the air and we're going to save a life. We're going to help find somebody. There's so many benefits to being a drone pilot, and it's so rare right now because, like I said, we have about 600 officers and only 30 of us are pilots, and that includes civilian pilots. So we don't have very many smart pilots right now. And so, just being a female, I started my career when I was 21. I worked through patrol. I got promoted. I did many other things, and I've worked for several agencies. But when it comes down to it, I'm even a firearms instructor, and that's, a rare thing for a female too. But when I put that drone controller in my hand and I started flying, I fell in love with it. It was so much fun. And it's just one of those things, especially now with all the technology. I could be at my house and they say, hey, now we've not had this happen, but we have the availability to do it. Hey, can you fly the School of Arts or one of our other locations, because we've got a situation nearby and we don't have any drone pilots here. From my house, I can turn on my computer and fly the drone from my house. Excuse me. So that's just the technology. It goes to show what we have, and it's just amazing. Like, to me, it's just to think that I am a part of a program that is new and very successful here towards the end of my career. It's a blessing for me.
Right. And so you're saying you don't necessarily have to be a police officer. It's a question I get a lot. Do I have to go through boot camp to do this? I'm like, no. It depends obviously on where you sit and the departments that are looking for it. But you're saying in Winston-Salem, you do not necessarily have to be a police officer to be a drone pilot with the police force.
That's correct. And so I travel around sometimes with our recruitment division, and we recruit everybody, whether it be a police officer or professional staff, and let me pull my presentation back up here and see if I can, it's not letting me pull it back up. There it goes. All right. So like this right here, this is a recruiting event, and you see we've got our drone right there beside it. They invite me to come to recruiting events because when they see me being a female, that I'm a police officer and I'm a drone pilot, we can talk, and and it's a way to get them out here. On top of that, that is actually me flying one of our drones that they put out as well to try to get females to come join, and then they put me on a billboard.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things of, hey, we can do this. Females can do it. It's not something that's specific to anyone. You don't have to be a police officer. You don't have to go through the police academy or anything like that. It's just, hey, if you want to be, we have drone pilots. We have 2 full-time guys in our flight room right now that's all they do. They just fly our drones for us, and that's a benefit for us to have. They're an asset to our department. And so we have invited, we have some people, we have our forensics division. They have drone operators as well. We have a drone operator that manages all of our training and stuff. And, she used to be a police officer, Megan James, she used to be a police officer, and now she's over our training division, and she's a civilian, and she's one of our other core pilots. So we have, many opportunities in the drone program. It doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter what your background is. I recruited one of the guys on my team. He worked for IBM for years. And he's like, well, he's older than me. And so he's like, I don't know if I could do this. He loves it. He comes and he works and he flies and he carries a drone every day too. Now he got his certification. And he's like, for us to be older, it's like, this is actually fun. This is actually beneficial. It gives you a way to make a difference, a positive, way to make a difference when you come to work every day, and knowing that if the drone is needed, you've got it. You're there.
Right. Is there anybody on your team that is not a pilot but works with the UAS team?
Not that I'm aware of. I know we have our IT guy. We have some IT folks that are also pilots. So it's as far as I know, everybody's a pilot that works with our team.
Yeah, probably a prereq right now as they grow out, as these programs grow out, we'll need more support staff, right?
Yes.
The operational changes are coming there.
Now, we do have a lady who handles a lot of our purchasing and stuff, but she went through the class. So I'm not sure if she has her 107 or not, but she did go through the class with us.
Good for her. Good. I love it. Well, so with all this positive and drones for good and saving lives, there's obviously challenges that come with any new program or any program in general, especially when you complicate national airspace safety with, city, county, state regulations. Talk to us about some of the challenges, how you've addressed them and overcome, and maybe even some you're working through now that aren't resolved.
Yeah, so some of the challenges, if I can get this PowerPoint back up, there's a image of a room, one of our flight rooms, just to kind of give you an idea of, okay, so this is our flight room. This is one of the challenges we had in the beginning when we first started in July, was filling this room. We needed to, if we didn't fill the room, we couldn't fly the drone for the day. It was, hey, we don't have any pilots, sorry. We're not going to be able to respond to calls with the ones on the rooftops. So that was one of our biggest challenges in the beginning, was recruiting pilots, which is why a bunch of us got together and we're like, hey, let's start showing people what it's really about. I know I've recruited several pilots that are now flying, and more that are going to be going to a class next year just to join the program. It's growing. It's a growing program. Like I said, we've only been going for a year and a half with this, and so just getting this kind of stuff up in the air, that was a huge challenge for us in the beginning.
So what has been your secret to like turning on the faucet a little bit to get people interested? Do you have any secrets that you can share as to getting people interested in the program?
Using the drone on scene. When we put the drone up on scene and they really see what it does, they're like, oh, that's cool. I'm a field training officer too. So when I have rookies training with me, I take the drone. And when we go to calls, I put it up and they're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Yes, you want to join? Go to the class, get your 107 license. There's like a gentleman that just graduated from the academy not long ago who's wanting to go get his, which is great. And that's what we need. We need more people interested. Go get your license, carry the drones on patrol, sign up for our drone for first responders positions, fill those voids so that we can get this thing operational 24/7.
And so you said training. I imagine that most of your units are training folks on site. They don't have to come with training, or do they? Do they have to come with the Part 107 passed, or do you allow them to come into the program without a Part 107 and then you train them and make sure they pass and have the correct practical training?
So what we do is we invite them to come. Like if they want to come to one of our trainings, they can come to one of our trainings, and we will kind of show them, hey, this is what it does. This is what we do. And if they're interested, because they can sit there and fly the drone under our license with us right there with them, just to kind of show them what it does.
Sure.
And this is a training day too. If you could pull the PowerPoint screen back up for me, please, I will show you some of our training images that we have. I think they're towards that's just kind of showing you my power inverter in the back of my car so I can power things up.
Okay.
That was our one of our rooftop docks. So this is one of our indoor flying things. We just kind of set it up for fun. We use we were using the minis. This image was taken when we first started a year and a half ago. So you can kind of see how we would have to fly in and over and around about just to practice. And this is indoors, so you don't have the connection. It's a lot harder, but it also helps you with your skill set. And then this here, another training situation. This was at Emerald Point. We went out and trained out there and they had scenarios set up. A company that we actually sent our officers to set up and said, hey, we're going to have this training. It's free. Come out. We'll have scenarios set up at Emerald Point, which is a huge water park. And they'll come up and say, hey, go find this. And so you put the drone up in the air and you go find what they tell you to find. And they have people there that'll help you with the thermal imaging and how to do your grid searches and stuff like that. It was it was a beneficial training. And then here's another one of our training dates. That's Ron with the glasses on top of his head, the gray-headed older man. He's the one that started our program. But this just goes to show, we're out there training, and we invite people to come train with us and see what it's like. And if they like it, then we'll send them to the class. We'll send them to the class. We'll pay to get their 107. They'll go schedule that afterwards and schedule for the test to get their 107, and they join the team. We've had some that already had their 107 that said, hey, can I join the team? Absolutely. Come join the team. But like I said before, they have to get checked off before they can fly. Meaning we have to check their skill set. We have to make sure that they can maneuver certain ways. They know how to do the updates. There's a lot of things that come into play to making sure that they are within FAA. They know what they can and can't do. And Winston is a very restricted airspace because we have Baptist Hospital, which has helicopters flying in and out. We also have an airport. So we have to be very careful on where we fly. And so with technology, we've integrated a lot of stuff too into our mapping system on our calls for service. So if you're not a pilot and you respond to a call, you can click on your map of your call. And if it's red, we can't fly there. If it's green, then yes, we can fly there. It just lets the officer know right away. So that's another benefit that we have. And we're sending out trainings to officers too with slideshows, letting them know what we can and can't do.
Okay. So you've touched a lot upon the hardware. Tell me about the learning curve for understanding the software and being able to process the data and how that works for you and your team.
It's actually super easy. I thought it would be difficult at first because, I'm not really a technological person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a police officer. I deal with criminals all day, not computers. Of course, we
Yeah.
have a computer for report writing, but it's actually very simple. So when we transition to the new program, which is our Scadio, they have an academy built into their program. So we can fly on a simulator on our computer screen in the para universe. We can practice that. We can also go through their academy and learn how to work the computer system, how things work. They came here and actually trained us as well. So they trained the core pilots, and the core pilots turned around, and we trained the other officers and pilots as they come in. So it was actually it was easier than what I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And because we get new technology, you're like, oh no, here we go. I'm gonna have to take notes. I didn't have to take any notes. It was actually very simple. Everything is self-explanatory, and it does a lot of the work itself.
Okay.
I mean, we have our program has autonomous flights. So we click on the screen, fly here. It tells you which drone is the closest, and it starts flying. Of course, you're in control the whole time, but it's flying there for you very quickly. And so, that technology is huge for us. And like I said, it was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because I know it can be intimidating, especially if you're in a different industry and you're not used to technology. Like you said, you're getting the bad guys here.
Yeah.
Now you're just getting the bad guys in a different way. And the innovation that we have has really helped us do that more efficiently. And it just keeps getting better and better, which is exciting. Well, before we close out, Melissa, do you have anything else you want to share with us today?
Yeah, so with having our drone programs, we have an airport nearby. We also have PTI Airport, which is in Greensboro. We have special events all the time that we have to put our drones up for: the fair, Wake Forest basketball games, football games, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We also have had Mitt Romney has came into town. Jill Biden came into town. I flew for both of those. And to be able to put the drones up and send the live feed directly to the Secret Service so they could see as, especially for Jill Biden when she was coming in, it was huge. And, for me, that was like, oh, wow, I get to fly for Jill Biden. Okay.
Right.
I was nervous, but it actually went really well. And, the fact that we have this technology that we can do all this it's huge.
It is huge. It is huge. And thank you. Definitely appreciate your service to our communities and your being a part of innovation and growing these teams and being so enthusiastic about saving lives and drones for good. Thank you so much, Melissa. We really appreciate you. Coming up next year, and I'm dating this podcast here. We are sitting in December. We are going to be having our National Public Safety Conference for Drone Responders in March. It's typically the second weekend, the second week in March. And more information will be coming about that soon. Log on to droneresponders.org to look into that and keep tabs on the information that'll be pouring out here soon. Join us. And if you don't know how to join, contact me at amy@droneresponders.org. Happy to walk you through that. Otherwise, simply go to droneresponders.org, click on working groups, click on Women Drone Responders, and it'll walk you through how to join. We have just recently uploaded a discussion board on the Drone Responders app. So if you don't have the app, you can download that in the Google Play and Apple stores. And for now, again, Melissa, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you sharing it with us. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.